In the quiet town of Valdosta, Georgia, a tragedy unfolded in 2013 that has left more questions than answers. Kendrick Johnson was a 17-year-old high school student, full of life and promise. But on January 11, 2013, he was found dead under circumstances that have baffled investigators and haunted his family ever since. This is the story of Kendrick Johnson, a case that has sparked controversy, conspiracy theories, and a relentless search for the truth. Kendrick Johnson was a vibrant and athletic teenager from Valdosta, Georgia. Born on October 10, 1995, Kendrick was the youngest of 5 children in the Johnson family. He was known for his outgoing personality, warm smile, and love for sports, particularly basketball and football. Standing tall at 5'10" and weighing around 180 pounds, Kendrick was a natural athlete with dreams of one day playing professional sports. At Lowndes High School, Kendrick was a well-liked student who was often seen wearing his signature smile. He had a close-knit group of friends and was deeply loved by his family. Kendrick's parents, Kenneth and Jackie Johnson, were proud of their son's accomplishments, both on and off the field. He was a dedicated student, balancing his academics with his passion for athletics. Kendrick's love for sports was evident in his daily life. He was a member of the school's football and basketball teams, where he was known for his determination, teamwork, and skill. He often spent time in the gym, working out and practicing, always striving to improve his game. His coaches and teammates admired his work ethic and his ability to uplift those around him. On January 11, 2013, Kendrick Johnson's body was discovered in a highly unusual and disturbing manner in the gymnasium of Lowndes High School in Valdosta, Georgia. His body was found inside a large, rolled-up gym mat that was standing vertically in the school's old gym, which was commonly used by students to store their belongings, including gym shoes. The discovery was made by fellow students who had climbed up on top of the rolled mats to retrieve their shoes. One of the students noticed 2 feet sticking out from the center of one of the mats and alerted school staff. When the mat was unrolled, they found Kendrick's body upside down, wedged tightly in the middle of the mat. Kendrick was found in a fetal position, with his arms positioned close to his head. His body was partially decomposed, indicating that he had been in that position for several hours. The position of the body, combined with the circumstances under which it was found, immediately raised questions. His face was swollen, and there were signs of blood pooling around his head and neck area. The sight was horrifying, but the explanation offered by the authorities was even more shocking. Authorities quickly ruled Kendrick's death as an accident, suggesting that he had fallen into the mat while trying to retrieve a pair of sneakers and became stuck. But from the very beginning, this explanation raised eyebrows. Kendrick's family was devastated, but they couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. They questioned the official story, insisting that Kendrick was too large to have simply slipped into the mat and gotten stuck. The initial autopsy, conducted by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, concluded that Kendrick died from positional asphyxia, essentially suffocating due to the position his body was in. However, his family wasn't convinced. They believed there was more to the story and hired an independent pathologist to conduct a second autopsy. The second autopsy revealed something shocking. Kendrick had suffered a blow to the neck that was consistent with non-accidental trauma. The pathologist concluded that the death was not an accident, but rather a homicide. This finding turned the case on its head. As news of Kendrick's death spread, so did the speculation. Some believed that Kendrick was murdered and that there was a cover-up. Others pointed to possible motives, involving other students or even law enforcement, but with little evidence and no clear suspects. The theories remained just that, theories. Many questioned why surveillance footage from the gym appeared to be missing key moments, or why the school's cameras allegedly malfunctioned on the day Kendrick died. These discrepancies fueled suspicions of foul play. The inconsistencies didn't end there. A third autopsy was performed at the request of the Johnson family, and it only deepened the mystery. This time, it was found that some of Kendrick's organs were missing and replaced with newspaper, a practice that is highly unusual and raised even more questions. Despite facing many challenges, Kendrick Johnson's family refused to give up their fight for justice. They firmly believed that Kendrick's death was not an accident, and that there was more to the story than what had been officially reported. Determined to uncover the truth, they pursued legal action against those they believed were responsible, including the school district, local law enforcement, and even specific individuals. The Johnson family accused these parties of covering up what they believed was a murder. Their lawsuits made serious claims, alleging that Kendrick had been killed and that authorities had conspired to hide the truth. These legal actions were meant to force a more thorough investigation and to hold those involved accountable. However, the Johnson family faced significant obstacles in court. Many of their lawsuits were dismissed on technical grounds, with judges ruling that there wasn't enough evidence to proceed. These setbacks were incredibly frustrating for the family, who felt that the justice system was failing them at every turn. In addition to the lawsuits, the family continued to push for a federal investigation, believing that an outside, impartial review of the case was their best hope for finding the truth. The case did attract the attention of the Department of Justice, which launched an investigation to determine if Kendrick's civil rights had been violated. However, the Department of Justice announced that it would not pursue criminal charges, stating that there wasn't enough evidence to prove that a federal crime had been committed. This decision was a devastating blow to the Johnson family and their supporters, who had hoped that the federal investigation would finally bring them the answers they were seeking. The family felt that the investigation had been incomplete and that key evidence had been ignored. Despite this, they did not give up. They continued to fight, holding protests, organizing rallies, and keeping Kendrick's story in the public eye. Their persistence paid off in 2021 when the case was reopened by local authorities, this time with a new focus on investigating the possible mishandling of evidence and the potential for a cover-up. This development brought renewed hope to the Johnson family, who had spent years advocating for a deeper investigation. The reopening of the case was a sign that their efforts were making a difference, but it also underscored just how long and difficult their journey had been. For Kendrick's family, the pain of losing their son has been compounded by the lack of closure. They continue to fight for justice, but the road has been long and fraught with obstacles. Kendrick's death has sparked national attention and debate about racial injustice, the handling of evidence, and the transparency of investigations. But as the years go by, one question remains: what really happened to Kendrick Johnson? Until that question is answered, his family and the world may never find peace. Kendrick Johnson's case remains one of the most perplexing and controversial deaths in recent history. Whether it was a tragic accident or something far more sinister, the truth has yet to fully emerge. As new developments unfold, we can only hope that one day, Kendrick's family will receive the answers they so desperately seek. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales of the unexplained and the macabre. And remember, sometimes the most terrifying stories are the ones that are true. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.